We welcome you back to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, where they have dimmed the lights for the home team to be introduced. You see a bit of the rock and roll show going on high atop the Bradley Center on the video board, and the home lineup will be announced to the fans here that are in attendance. And Brad, the first thing that we notice is the Bradley Center is very empty. We should mention there's this little football team in Wisconsin known as the Green Bay Packers, who played a home game about 2 hours from here, and I believe that's affected this attendance tonight. It doesn't look like they're going to get their customary 14 or 15,000. It looks like more along the lines of 6,000 or 7,000 at the most.
Well, they'll announce 11 because I think that's their season ticket base, but we can tell there's only about 3 or 4 in here right now, and it makes this place look pretty empty because this is a beautiful arena here, and you can see, I know, upwards of 20,000, and hopefully for Marquette fans, these people are making it a little loud in here. Well, and that's an advantage for South Florida that we'll get into as this game rolls on. This is usually a rocking place to play if you're the visiting team. Here's a look at the Conference USA breakdown. These two teams are in opposite divisions, and what that means is they only play once a year. They alternate each year playing in the other team's city. This year, South Florida comes to Milwaukee. Next year, Marquette will come to Tampa. And they've had an interesting rivalry brewing the last couple of years. We talked about that earlier. Two teams that play physical defense. Mike Dean has got some fellas that really get in you and play aggressive, but a little bit more conservative than the South Florida defensive players. Let's take a look at your starting lineups. First for the South Florida Bulls, here's the way that Seth Greenberg's team will stack up, with B.B. Walden in that starting lineup, along with Raheem Brown. That is 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and senior Shadrick Jenkins, a very young team for Seth. Raheem Brown has got to grow up quickly. He's got his most physical matchup so far to date. And for the Marquette Golden Eagles, Mike Dean's club, you see him there. He's won 20 games a year every year that he's been here. We'll watch Levette underneath. That is a different lineup for the 8th time so far this season in 10 games. They will not start the freshman Cordell Henry in tonight's contest. We'll see him a little bit later on, a little freshman guard from Chicago. So they'll go with a bit of a bigger lineup here tonight. As you take a look at Chauncey Asbury coming out of the South Florida huddle. The series matchups there, the 8th meeting, and as we mentioned a year ago, South Florida won their first game in this series at the Sundome, avenging a humiliating defeat 2 seasons ago. Tonight's officials, Ted Hillary, Tom O'Neill, and Steve Welmer. And with all of that out of the way, we're about ready. Very strange starting lineup for Marquette. No point guard out there to start this game. It'll be interesting to see who handles the ball from the get-go. And South Florida controls the opening tap here, looking to go 5-0. Shadrick Jenkins will run the show. Man-to-man for the Golden Eagles, and already Levette is clobbering Raheem Brown down low. B.B. Walden wants a 3. That's too strong, and Marquette will go the other way. Looks like the ball handling chores at the beginning will go to Bargan and Wardle. Neither one a very good assist-to-turnover ratio, guys, so far this year. This is Namaka in the corner, who's been bothered by a bad back. He's from Sweden. Wardle, a dangerous outside shooter. 10 on the shot clock. Bulls want to force Wardle to have to dribble to create his shot. He did just then and got himself in trouble. And Shadrick Jenkins finishes with the left hand for the first 2 of the contest. Nice play by B.B. Walden, 2-on-1 fast break. He drew the defender to him and made a nice pass across for the easy layup. Good basketball. Jenkins matched his point total from the Florida Atlantic game last time out. He only scored 2 points, one of the Bulls' leading scorers. You see the double team, pressure defense, the trademark of Seth Greenberg's club. And as Brad mentioned, no true point guard out there. They're looking to go with some size, are Marquette. Clausen could not get Walden off his feet, almost walked with a basketball. Wardle popped a 3 that's short. And Asbury controls for South Florida. Bulls did a good job defensively that possession, TJ. They trapped the pick and roll when Wardle tried to create right from the beginning. They'll look to do that against all pick and roll plays that Marquette will run. Cedric Smith, who had an outstanding game against Florida Atlantic. Now in the corner, B.B. Walden. They set a screen, and Raheem Brown takes his first shot in and out. Nice quick turnaround, just missed. Namaka cleared the board, and again, we did not expect him to play very much. One of those coaches playing possum again.
telling us that Namaka has a bad back, yet he's out there in the starting lineup. Bargan is their leading scorer. He comes off a career high, but Jenkins is right in his jersey. Here's Namaka for three, and he knocked it down.
Good patience by Marquette. They tried to screen people on the inside to get a post-up situation, and then Namaka got free coming to the top with the help of a little pick also.
Namaka is 6'7", and that was his third three-pointer of the year. Asbury down the lane. The follow by Brown, and a foul over the top on Marquette.
Nice job by Raheem getting inside position. Chauncey took it to the hole, tried to finesse a little bank shot in. Raheem anticipating the shot, got inside position on Clausen. Clausen over the back with the foul. Quickness. You need to be quick against this Marquette team. That's the advantage South Florida has. Raheem taking advantage of it on this first couple of possessions to get a jumper off and then to pursue the offensive rebound.
They skip it to Raheem Brown, who knocks it down and draws the foul. The set play got Brown open from 15, and he just showed you he can hit that shot.
He can get that shot off very quickly. It's a terrific asset for a big guy. He floats up towards the foul line area, catches, quickly lets it fly. He's got 15-foot range, and he got himself a 15-footer on that possession, TJ, and knocked it down.
The foul will go on Bargan of Marquette. And Raheem Brown, redshirt freshman from Colonial High School in Orlando, has played very large, as we told you in the open, in the last two games, although that free throw came up short. And it will be last touched by Marquette. Take a look at Seth Greenberg. And the Golden Eagles will bring in a substitute in John Miller. Again, a lot of size on this club. They have 4 players that are 6'8" or taller. South Florida with only 2 of those.
And we see close to 21 feet of center so far.
Oh, a great look, and Brown could not finish. That was a bunny, and he could not dunk it.
Marquette does a nice job of getting down the floor and trying to establish post-up position. Their big guys try to get as deep as they can and quickly try to get a bull on their back to try to catch the ball inside.
We take a look at Mike Dean as the reach-in foul went on Chauncey Asbury. As I mentioned at the beginning of the contest, he has won 20 games every season that he's been here at Marquette in his first 4.
Have to do him a favor, say hi to Rosemary and Skylar Dean, Mike's parents in New Smyrna, Florida.
There's a double team at midcourt that's hounding South Florida defense. Lafette put it on the floor, but missed the layup, and Raheem Brown clears. South Florida the ball in a 1-point lead. Shadrick Jenkins spinning. Good look down low, and it's put up and in by Raheem Brown.
Very nice play by Shadrick Jenkins, pushing the ball with his head up, made a little spin dribble to try to create something, found Raheem underneath. Raheem has done a nice job so far, TJ, being active, getting himself open along the baseline. Here we see it again, Shadrick pushing with his left hand, a little crossover, and then spin. Real nice dribble moves. Raheem gathered himself with one dribble and went up pretty quick. I'd like to see him do that without that dribble, but still was able to use that basket to ward off the defenders.
22nd timeout taken by Marquette. Shadrick Jenkins had a career-high 6 assists as you take a look at him there in the last game against Florida Atlantic, and he's taken over that point guard role this season, the senior.
The power point. Strong point guard. He's made a great adjustment, converting from a big guard spot to that point spot.
And surprisingly, Marquette again going without a true point guard against a very feisty South Florida defense. Bargan will bring it up. Into the game now is John Cliff, who had the ball a moment ago.
Good outside shooter, Cliff.
And a foul over the back on B.B. Walden coming over the top.
B.B. trying to get around to take that pass. Trying to steal the ball using his quickness.
Take a look at what Seth Greenberg has done at South Florida, as the Golden Eagles will bring Greg Clausen back into the lineup.
Defending out-of-bounds plays. I know Seth spent a lot of time trying to cover these out-of-bounds plays. Marquette does a nice job trying to score off a special situation.
Bargan left it for Lafette, and it's blocked by B.B. Walden. Bulls run the other way. Jenkins pops and hits.
Big-time field goal right there, pushing the ball and pulling up. Shadrick with some terrific patience and poise, pushing the ball and reading the situation.
And how about Mike Dean burning his second 20-second timeout inside of 4 minutes? This is typical of him, and we're going to take another look at that block by the freshman Walden.
Marquette actually did a nice job penetrating and dishing off. Lavette didn't have the rise to be able to finish it, and away the Bulls go, hitting the other end. They want to use their speed, want to use their quickness. Defenders converging to cover the basket area. Shadrick with a nice decision to pull up.
Watching Mike Dean coach, he will call his 20-second timeouts. He may call another one if he doesn't like what he sees. You only get 3 in a game. He's used 2 of them in the first 4 minutes.
The Bull coaching staff was kidding around early today. They said he'll definitely use them before the 10-minute mark of the first half.
And here's the half-court double team again for South Florida. Cliff breaks through. And right now, the quickness of South Florida giving Marquette some trouble. And here's Steele. Wardle. And he got that one. Brian Wardle comes off a career-high 22 against Northeastern earlier this year.
BB gambled for a steal in the passing lane, just missed it. Wardle made a nice decision to just go one dribble for the pull-up. We don't want to take it too close to the defense.
And that time, Cedric Smith got knocked to the floor, so the pass was to no one. Marquette the other way. Bargan with a head fake. The floater will go, and a foul on the rebound on South Florida.
Looks like Shadrick got caught pushing on the weak side for that defensive rebound.
That's his second, and we have timeout on the floor. The Bulls off to a good start. 8-5 is the score. Come on back to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Back in Milwaukee, USF on top of Marquette 8-5. 5 minutes into this contest, and it gives us an opportunity here to tell you that the broadcast rights to tonight's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel by the University of South Florida solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of Sports Channel is strictly prohibited. And South Florida off to a quick start, getting Raheem Brown a couple of touches. And I've also been impressed this entire season, not just tonight, with Shadrick Jenkins playing under control, Brad.
He has developed a very nice feel, TJ, for being able to push the ball with his head up, looking for teammates filling the lane. It's very difficult to go from a 2-guard to a point guard and run a team. Shadrick had some experience in high school and junior college, and he has used that experience well in becoming a polished point guard so early in the season.
They set the screen for Cliff on the out-of-bounds play. He could not knock down the 3. Loose out front, and Cordell Henry, who just checked into the game, we were talking about him earlier, tracked it down. Henry, a true freshman out of Chicago. So now a smaller Marquette lineup is out there. Wardle, fall away. Might have heard Seth Greenberg yell push off. That's what he thought. And Wardle with 4, the lead down to 1.
Wardle struggling with his shot, but has the reputation as a shooter. He's due to get hot. Hopefully tonight is not the night. The Bulls see Wardle get going from the perimeter.
Altron Jackson in the game for South Florida. Had the ball a moment ago. Chauncey Asbury wants a 3 and knocks it down.
Chauncey finding the range this season from three-point land. Last year, a very reluctant three-point shooter. This year, he seems much more confident and has found the mark early in the year.
And there's a near steal, and BB Walden comes up with it. 3 on 2. The lob too far and out of bounds. And Raheem Brown could not control it. Nice hustle by the Bulls as they'll check Arthur Reeves in. You mentioned Chauncey Asbury, who hit that 3 a moment ago, hit a large one against Duquesne 2 games ago. And now on the season, Asbury is shooting 4 for 6 from three-point range, and Seth Greenberg is wanting every bit of that outside shooting touch from his sophomore out of Deerfield Beach.
Well, when you lose a player like Scott Johnson, who is your best outside shooter, you need some other people to emerge as three-point threats to keep the defense honest. And it's going to be a three-point shooting team by committee this year with Scott on the sideline.
They set a screen for Wardle. And that one too strong, and Asbury has the board. Ahead for Walden, and nice body control to finish there.
Nice finish by BB. He tried to push that last fast break and threw a tough pass to Raheem. He finished this one off himself.
And the Bulls lead at 13-7. Aggressive man-to-man. Arthur Reeves bodying up on the big fellow Lavette. Henry left alone, and he knocked it down.
I was watching Cordell Henry warm up before the game. He's got a nice looking shot. He gives them a different look once he comes in the game because he is quick. Very similar to a number of other guards that Mike Dean coached at his previous stop before he became the head coach here at Marquette. He was the coach at Siena College, and he coached two quick guards that were among the better guards in the East, Normus Brennerman and Mark Rem, two guys that helped him win an awful lot of ball games. And of course, Aaron Hutchins, the fine guard a year ago, and the season before that for Mike Dean. Arthur Reeves got fouled, and the sophomore is at the foul line out of Lake Butler, knocking down that free throw. And this is a young man that's also going to be counted on heavily. We've not talked a lot about him, but low post experience for Arthur Reeves, as you see Cedric Smith checking in for the Bulls for Chauncey Asbury. But this guy also, along with Raheem Brown, is going to have to give them quality time in the low post. And on the last defensive possession, he did a real nice job keeping Levette in front of him. And then he did something that he did an awful lot last year. He ran the court hard to get inside position. Arthur can run, and that's something he's got to look to do all the time. Beat his man down the floor. 1 out of 2 from the foul line, and at the other end, Andrick Frazier, who just checked into the game with a reach-in foul for USF. Cordell Henry is quick. He's creative with the ball. He's explosive. He is going to look to make things happen at the offensive end of the floor. Trying to break down Andrick right there. He sort of got bailed out a little bit. I'm not even sure he was going to shoot that pull-up, but he's at the line now for a pair. Henry shoots 74% on the season. Career highs in points and assists. 9 points, 7 assists their last game against Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and he got them both. Second team All-State player in Illinois last year. His team, Whitney Young, was state champs. Andrick Frazier will run the show for South Florida this possession. Down low, it's B.B. Walden with 2 hands. Beautiful feed from Cedric Smith. Nice basketball right there. Smith up top. Bounce pass. B.B. did a good job clearing some space inside, receiving the ball and going quick to the hoop. You have to have people that can feed the post, and right there, whoa, not much room to get it through. What I really liked about that, TJ, was the quickness and authority with which B.B. moved once he caught the ball. That's something that he's starting to learn. In college, it's much more physical than it is in high school. You can't finesse your way to the rim every time you get in the paint. You've got to make quick moves. And one of the keys in this game that we're going to keep an eye on is points in the paint because of Marquette's half-court style. And already South Florida with 8 points to just 2 for Marquette down low. That's sort of a reverse of what we expected with Marquette's big people inside, especially Levette. We were fearful that that was going to give them an edge in scoring around the basket, but so far the Bulls have defended him well, pushed him off his favorite spots, and have been able to feed the ball inside at their end. Marquette with their third 22nd timeout as Cedric Smith almost stole it there. The Bulls on top 16-12, and Mike Dean will let his team know when he is displeased. That man right there. He never looks happy. Wardle almost had it stolen. Levette had it blocked by Andrick Frazier. At 5'10", Andrick Frazier just blocked one of the better big men in Conference USA. How about that? Andrick working the baseline of the 1-3-1. Has got to cover a lot of ground. That quickness worked. Did a great job with his hands also in deflecting that ball. Cliff out of the corner missed the tray, and a foul on Marquette blocking out. Bargan pushed BB. BB did a good job making some contact inside, drawing the foul. Nice job. The Bulls have to check out tonight. They don't want to give Marquette second chance. Do you sense right now that this Marquette team is a little disoriented, a little disorganized right now? They seem that way to me. Well, the Bulls went 1-3-1 the last possession, and I think that usually unnerves opponents the first couple times they face it. The Bulls are long and quick. It's a tough thing to play against that if you're not used to it. Cedric Smith couldn't get the shot. The ball is loose on the floor. They got numbers now, and Henry came up with it. The floater goes. He did well to control that ball, and 6 points already for Henry, and here's a steal. Marquette looks for the tie with a 2. A 3 would give them the lead. And Bargan wants that 3 and hits that 3. BB trying to go long the last play. It's not a bad idea, but if you look to go long with a pass, you're not going to get it to the guy. Throw it out of bounds before throwing it short. Cedric Smith missed the 3-pointer. B.B. Walden got decked, and now it's a 5-on-4 if they hurry the other way. Bargan got caught in the air. That could have been a charge. A near steal.
Boy, some sloppy play. Bargan another three from the other side. This one's short, and there's Arthur Reeves skying for the board.
Above the rim for Arthur. He can get and play above the rim, whether it's defensively or at the offensive end.
B.B. Walden had it knocked away. Loose down low, and they'll call it out of bounds with Wardle on the end line.
B.B. trying to finish off the play along the baseline. That's the kind of play where he needs to be a little bit more authoritative, a little bit stronger.
The Bulls find themselves behind after that three-pointer. We'll be back in Milwaukee in a moment. Back at the Bradley Center, you look at the Marquette huddle and you look at that man, Cordell Henry, who Brad Greenberg has sparked this team so far coming off the bench.
He is an impressive young point guard. Quickness. Got to put a fork in that one to try to gather, but he does. And here, Andrick doesn't do a good enough job of keeping him in front, and the little guy can make that floating pro layup.
Henry with 6 points off the bench, and Marquette now in front as we resume. Shadrack Jenkins picked up his dribble. Starting lineup back in there for South Florida, and Marquette now showing some zone.
It's like a little tight 1-2-2 zone. Bulls have to use that baseline, the short corner we talk about frequently. Raheem's specialty, but it looks like they're chasing him man-to-man along that baseline.
You see the shot clock
handling the ball.
And Shadrack Jenkins takes the three and missed it. They had to force that one up as the shot clock was winding down. And here's Cordell Henry. John Harris just into the game. Down low, it's Clausen. The follow by Wardle. And Cedric Smith clears the board for USF. The lob, and it got knocked away again. Those fast hands of Marquette, they seem to have come to life.
Bulls not careful enough with the basketball. They're trying to push it, but they're turning it over. That's something they haven't done this season. They take good care of the basketball, and they've got to make sure they can get their extra possessions, their extra attempts, by forcing more turnovers than they commit. That's not been the case so far tonight.
A reach-in foul on B.B. Walden, and we see what South Florida has been able to do in the turnover department.
The Bulls force turnovers, 21. That's a +8 compared to what they commit. That gives them a number of shots. They average 12 more shots than their opponents during the season. That's how you make up for 4 shooting nights, by being able to get that ball more times and get up more shots.
The senior Jenkins on that freshman Henry. He got his shot off, could not hit it, and South Florida looks to run.
Henry very aggressive offensively, looking to create one-on-one.
Raheem Brown turns and fires, and that barely drew iron. Marquette on top 17-16 here. South Florida had a 6-point lead just a little while ago. First Conference USA game of the season. Glad you're with us on Sports Channel. TJ Reeves and Brad Greenberg. Courtside here at the Bradley Center. John Harris, he seldom plays, another freshman, handling the ball a moment ago. Now Wardle muscling up Cedric Smith. Here's Henry left alone, and he knocks down the three.
He has been the difference so far. He is shooting the ball very well from the perimeter, and he is creating and drawing defenders to him off his penetration.
Cordell Henry was only 3 of 14 coming into the game from long range, but he's been the spark so far, as you mentioned.
Bulls are going to look to post up Shadrack at some point in this game if Henry stays matched up with him.
Asbury for 3. No good. B.B. Walden, a whistle. And a foul on the floor. A foul on the floor before the shot of B.B. Walden on Clausen.
Bulls have to be alert at the offensive end of the floor for long rebounds. They're shooting more long jumpers right now than they probably would like, and those misses are going to come out a little bit farther. Marquette plays solid defense. They don't look to pressure you and force you into turnovers so much as they look to keep you under control. Bulls have to be patient and execute well if they want to get high percentage shots.
Now Florida has been on a bit of a scoring drought. The zone again giving them some trouble here. Raheem Brown. They get it to Cedric Smith. That's the guy they want to shoot it, but he couldn't knock it down. Loose ball. Walden comes up with it and follows and puts it down.
Nice job. Good hands by B.B. He's got a feel for the game, a feel for the basketball. He gathered that one in and finished off. Big basket.
Here again is the 1-3-1 trap, looking for those turnovers. But the freshman Henry penetrates and is able to handle it. Driving the paint is Diggs, who just checked in. Missed that shot, and the rebound down to Jenkins. South Florida looks for the tie. Shadrick leaves down low to Asbury, who finished it off.
Nice job by Shadrick. Once again, pushing it under control, able to make a pass off the move, and Chauncey very comfortable working along that baseline to finish.
Again, they look for the double team. Henry almost broke it. Loose on the floor. Nice hustle by Walden, and he saves it to his teammate Smith.
Forcing turnovers. That's the name of the game for the Bulls.
Brown fires from 10. No good, and Marquette the rebound. Diggs in the front court, and it slapped away. Down low, Levette. Nice move. The floater won't go, and a nice block out by Raheem Brown.
Good job by Raheem. He's always going to turn into the middle from that spot. Raheem did a nice job of staying between him and the basket.
It went. Will it count?
Great job.
It went for Shadrick Jenkins. No bucket, though. Circus shot there. As
No continuation on that one.
They do play the NBA in this arena, but not tonight. As you look at Raheem Brown working hard down low at both ends of the floor. Officials timeout. We're tied at 20. The Conference USA opener. The Bulls and the Marquette Golden Eagles. Stay with us on Sports Channel. Welcome back. The Bulls have tied up Marquette at 20, and one of the big reasons why the play of Shadrick Jenkins, the senior, really gives Seth Greenberg's club a lot of options with his ability to rebound.
If you can defensive rebound from the guard spot, you don't need to pitch the ball out. Shadrick can take it off the glass and start to break. And he can finish with some nice dishes off the dribble. Shadrick, some nice plays. Once again, Chauncey, good job of moving without the ball to fill a lane and finish on the break.
The Bulls now look for the lead. After having a 6-point lead earlier, they had fallen behind by 4. USF with 15 points down low, and Raheem Brown gets 2 more inside.
Too quick for Levette right there. He has got a great feel for being able to get shots off. He looks sharp so far tonight.
Again, the 1-3-1 trap. We have not seen this in the last 2 games, but they've sprung it on Marquette tonight. And they're going to call a blocking foul as Raheem Brown did not quite get over there quick enough and picks up his first personal.
But I like the idea to come up and meet the penetrator, meet the guy that was trying to drive and create. Can't tell whether he was really too late or that was one of those 50-50 kind of calls that could have gone either way, but good alertness defensively for Raheem. Nice to see him working at both ends of the floor.
That's 16 fouls now on South Florida. They almost stole the inbound. Hustling at midcourt. The Bulls come up with it with Shadrick Jenkins. Jenkins, great look to Asbury, and he put it down.
Great pursuit of the loose ball right there. Shadrick, Chauncey, Cedric, everybody going after it, beating Levette to the ball. Terrific pursuit defensively.
And right now, South Florida just out hustling Marquette at this juncture. 24-20.
Trying to make it a game of quickness.
An 8-0 run. Levette out of the corner. He hits that shot for 3. How about that? A big man who can knock it down from beyond the arc.
Reminds me of Scott Johnson a little bit to see your 6'10" guy going out to the corners and burn teams with 3-pointers.
South Florida right now with an edge of 19-2 down low in points. And there's a foul as Shadrick Jenkins got muscled up.
Bulls doing a nice job feeding the ball inside, TJ.
If I had told you before this game, as you look here at Shadrick Jenkins among the tall timber getting fouled, if I had told you 19-2 down low, you would have thought Marquette, and so would I.
Well, they keep on bringing Shadrick down there to take advantage of his strength over Cordell Henry. There's going to be more before the night's over. Good job right there. The Bulls executing to try to take advantage of Shadrick and his strength. The power point just too physical, too big for Cordell Henry. He didn't get a chance to post him up. What we'll see as a result of that is Marquette looking to double team a post-up guy like Shadrick. And so people are going to have to hit from the perimeter to burn them if they try to take away that by bringing a big man into the action to clog up that lane.
Shadrick Jenkins got the first one and the second one for that matter. This Bulls team has been struggling in the early season from the foul line. Now they push the advantage back to 3.
In a 1-3-1 half court right now. Trying to take the ball out of the good ball handlers. Force people to make passes over defenders just like that, and it's a turnover. That's what the 1-3-1 does. Normally when you're on offense, you have a man right in front of you. With the 1-3-1, the defense forces people into gaps, into double teams in essence, or they just force you to throw it over a defender just to make a simple pass. If you're not a sharp ball handler, you're susceptible to turning the ball over against that kind of pressure.
Cedric Smith lobs down low for Arthur Reeves. He collects, gathers himself, couldn't hit the shot, and Marquette controls. Bulls have forced 4 turnovers so far in the first half. They've disrupted the Marquette flow, although the Golden Eagles have hit some outside shots.
Back in the 1-3-1, off of the miss. A little tough to set that up off of misses.
And Namaka hits the 3. Aluma Namaka knocking that one down, his second made 3 of the night, and we've tied things back up at 26. This Marquette team, a 3-point shooting team, has already now made 5 of them in this first half. That's kept them in the ballgame.
Well, Namaka, freshman, is surprise starter. Number one, it's a surprise he's on the floor so much. And it's even a bigger surprise that he's knocking down threes with confidence.
They wanted Raheem Brown down low. Smith got body and hit the fall-away shot. Nice job.
Terrific finish. He looked like he got bumped off his path there. Should have had a chance to make a 3-point play out of that one.
Cordell Henry a little out of control, and South Florida comes up with a basketball. Cedric Jenkins, great head fake. Cedric Smith catches, fires. It's loose. And a steal by USF. Raheem Brown can't hit. Asbury to follow, and he drew the foul and will go to the free throw line.
Good job by Raheem. Was in the right place to pick up that pass. Did a good job of taking that shot, and Chauncey always acted to the offensive glass, pursued that ball. Good team basketball right there. Here you see the loose ball. Cliff trying to chase it down. Chauncey pressuring it and getting right back into the play to pursue an offensive rebound. Both he and Arthur in good position, and Chauncey actually even moved from the right side of the basket all the way across the lane, anticipating the miss on that side. That's smart basketball.
Asbury missed the first foul shot. B.B. Walden will check in. The foul was on Henry, his second. 8 fouls now on Marquette. And for Chauncey Asbury, he's been struggling at the line this season. Now just 10 of 21. He was one of the best free throw shooters on this club in conference play last year.
Yeah, he shot over 70% once he moved into that starting lineup. And I think he'll end up getting it close to 70 again. He's got a nice touch. He's a guy that can make free throws. Sometimes those percentages are a little deceiving early in the season when you haven't gotten to the line quite that much.
Asbury with 8 to lead South Florida. Again, the half-court trap. Henry tries to split the double team and almost turned it over again. Nice hands by Jenkins. Here's Wardle for 3. No good. And Smith the board.
Good weak side rebound by Cedric Smith. That's key in the 1-3-1.
3-point lead for the Bulls. Ball knocked high in the air. Brown catches, fires quickly and missed. Jenkins the weak side rebound and a left-handed shot. How about that?
Seth put his hands up and said thank you. He knew he got a little help from somebody on that left-handed jump hook by Shad.
The offhand, you know it's your night when that goes down, right? A long-range bomb again is no good for Marquette. But on the other side, it's Namaka with the rebound.
Weak side rebounder. Wing people in a 1-3-1 have to cover out on the wing and then get back to cover the basket on the weak side.
Cliff looked like he was a little unsure of what to do there and could not get the shot to go down, and Seth Greenberg wants a 20-second timeout to talk things over with. His club with a 5-point lead here. So this game has been a game of runs, and now South Florida, after trailing by 4 a little while ago, has gone back up by 5. What's the biggest thing that you see as the reason why right now?
Well, I think the quickness has kicked in a little bit. Getting to loose balls, getting some second shots with offensive rebounds. They have really done a nice job getting to the offensive glass by pursuing balls. BB's been in there, Shattuck's been in there, finishing off with that left-handed hook right there. The Bulls have been active, and they have to. They need to get more shots up, whether it's by getting steals and take away possessions from Marquette or by being quick to the offensive glass. This is a game where rebounding is up the grass.
And the Conference USA opener here in Milwaukee, December the 13th. That's the earliest that South Florida has ever played a Conference USA game. The Bulls looking to go 5-0 if you've just joined us for the second time in school history. And they would love to sneak out of here with a Conference USA win. Andrick Frazier back into the basketball game. You see the three-point shooting tonight. Marquette's not been bashful. They've attempted 13 already. Raheem Brown catches and fires, and that one was nowhere close. Marquette the other way. Henry left alone. And he missed it. but Lavette collects. Now Wardle. And he threw it away.
Have to get up on Wardle. He is a guy who wants to catch it and shoot. That's something that was key in the scouting report. Make sure Wardle has to put the ball on the floor.
We've got timeout on the floor here at the Bradley Center. South Florida on top 31-26. So we will pause. Come on back. A good one in progress. Up north, stay with us. And we needed some accountants in that first half for the 17 Marquette three-point attempts. They made 7 of them. That's what kept them in the game. As you take a look inside the South Florida huddle, Seth Greenberg's team 3-0 this season. We're leading at halftime. They were 9-0 a year ago. That's a very good omen for this club. And for Marquette, the three-point shooting, you take a look at Namaka, one of those guys that was able to knock them down.
Marquette starting the second half with a completely different line when they started the first half. They are definitely trying to match up with the Bulls, going much smaller, more ball handlers on the floor, trying to go quickness for quickness. We're
going to talk about how deep that Marquette bench is in just a second as we resume the second half of play. Bargan gets it off to Wardle. Wardle with 7 points in that first half, including 2 of those Golden Eagle three-pointers. Lavette lost it on the way up, and the foul on Raheem Brown, and that's something they did not try an awful lot. They tried it a couple of times early on and then never really came back to Lavette in the low post.
Well, Lavette normally likes to put the ball on the floor and try to get a little bit closer. That time he made a pretty quick move and just turned in and tried to draw the foul. He always likes to go to this left shoulder. No ball on the floor that time, just a quick turn to try to actually create some contact as much as trying to make a field goal.
Lavette is a good foul shooter, as you just witnessed, shooting 77% on the season. And this Marquette team, very deep bench. That first half indicative of it.
They played 12 guys. The Bulls only dressed 9 guys. So definitely depth in their favor. They will hopefully try to wear down the Bulls. I know they tried to get it inside early, maybe try to put some Bulls in foul trouble around the lane.
Here's B.B. Walden. The spin move, a head fake, and he got the shot on the baseline.
He was covered up, but he still was able to squeeze that shot off. Soft touch.
And now the senior Jenkins picking up the freshman Cordell Henry, who starts the second half. Look at the pressure defense. Nice move by Namaka. The Swede off the glass.
BB getting beat. Namaka going to his strong hand, his right hand. You got to keep people in front of you. You want to put pressure, but you want to make sure you keep people in front of you.
Walden couldn't handle the pass as Lavette came over to help out. South Florida will maintain possession. As you look at the freshman from Lakeland, Kathleen, B.B. Walden, 8 points now in the contest.
Marquette shot 3s in the first half. It looks like the second half, they're looking to get the ball to the rim.
They set the screen for Cedric Smith, but Wardle was right with it. Now Raheem Brown on the baseline. The floater won't go, and Wardle did well to block out. Bargan in transition. No good.
In rhythm on that attempt, still in the right lane.
Jenkins wanted Raheem Brown, but Namaka saw it all the way. South Florida still up 37-33. And Henry says, let's back it up and reset the offense. And a nice steal by Cedric Smith. Lead pass for Walden. Nice body control, and he finishes off. Boy,
wow.
Doesn't look like a freshman, does he?
But Cedric Smith pressuring the ball and still stealing the pass that's fed into the post. That's just an unbelievable defensive play to force the guy to make a tough pass in and then back off him and pick it off. Great job by Cedric.
The hallmark of a Seth Greenberg team, they will guard you, and there's a foul, and Cedric Smith can't believe that call. He thought it was a push-off by Wardle trying to get free, and let's take a look at that defensive play by Cedric Smith.
Cedric is active. There he is, getting off his man as he's about to pass it, anticipates the pass, is able to steal it.
As we resume live action, a 3 no good. Bargan got the rebound, muscling down low, and Cedric Jenkins came away with it. Now, what can Seth Greenberg do besides just point it out to the officials? Is that the only thing he can do at this point in the contest? If he's got to be seeing that over there as well as we're seeing it across the way.
Yeah, you've got to try to be diplomatic and letting the officials know that this guy is using his offhand over and over again, and that's not allowed. Just as a guy palming the ball to try to take advantage, you certainly can't allow guys to use their offhand to free themselves up.
On the baseline, it's Bargan. The follow, no good. Namaka got it back. The third try, no good, and a foul over the back on Marquette.
B.B. Walden getting up after that defensive rebound. Quickness into the air, able to get it and draw the foul. Marquette got a couple extra shots in the paint, wasn't able to convert any of them. B.B. doing a nice job to get possession for the Bulls.
Andrick Frazier back into the game for South Florida. Bulls trying to build on their lead. Looking to go 5-0 for the second time in school history. It would be the first time under Seth Greenberg. And there they call a blocking foul as Asbury went to the baseline.
Bargan trying to challenge Chauncey. Chauncey beat him going to his left on the baseline a few possessions ago. Tried to beat him going right. Another possession, and now here he goes to try to go right again. Bargan reaches in, gets tangled up, and draws a foul.
A large foul on Bargan, his fourth. We'll keep an eye on that. And they're going to call B.B. Walden out of bounds. And John Cliff will check in here for Bargan, who must sit down now with still 13 minutes to play and 4 fouls. And he's really not been much of a factor. Only one made three-point shot.
Comes into the game as their leading scorer. Bargan hasn't gotten going, and B.B. tried to put him out of the game, taking him one-on-one, that one little possession there.
And here again is the 1-3-1 half-court trap for South Florida. That was deflected out of bounds. Altron Jackson back in for the Bulls. And Jackson did not score in that first half. He's provided some instant offense several times so far this season.
And he'll be at the point of the 1-3-1. That's a good spot for Altron. He's long, he's quick, gets his hands on a lot of passes.
Henry attacks, hangs, it's short. He got his own rebound, a head fake, and Arthur Reeves jumped right on top of Cordell Henry.
Henry doing a great job following his own miss. Smart play by drawing the foul with a little pump fake. Arthur almost leapfrogged him right there.
Talk about literally jumping almost over someone. Look at this. I mean, he's almost 4 feet off the ground.
Arthur being the good sport, patted him on the back once they both got up.
And they tried to throw it in off the backside of Andrick Frazier, and it almost did not work. That's a cute play, unless it gets stolen.
I don't know if Mike Dean thought it was so cute.
And now we got a hand check called on South Florida out front. Altron Jackson reaching in.
Bonus situation already for Marquette. That is not good for the Bulls. You don't want to give teams chances to score without really earning them. Tough situation. Wardle will now be aggressive off the dribble. So will some of the other Marquette players, because they'll try to draw some fouls to get to the stripe.
Wardle 1-1, and the free throw good for the sophomore out of Clarendon Hills, Illinois. One of the better shooters on this Marquette team. You see what he has done tonight so far. Back into the 1-1 is also good. The lead is 6. Andrick Frazier will push it up.
Little 1-2-2 trapping defense right now for Marquette. Bulls have to be crisp with their passes.
B.B. Walden in and out. And Marquette now with a chance to chop into that lead a little further. Wardle down low for Levette. Looks to work on the smaller Arthur Reeves. Wardle with a head fake. And puts it down, and he's begun to take this game over. That's 15 to lead all scorers. Back in Milwaukee, and coach, let's take a look at some great defensive pressure.
The Bulls have ramped up the defense. Look at the players in the stance right there. You got Cedric and Chauncey, and watch this pursuit. We'll get to it a little later. They're in action.
I want you to see that pressure. Here's the inbounds play with 3 on the shot clock, and the Bulls come up with the steal. USF has been hot so far in the second half. They have hit 7 of 11 in the second half, shooting 64%. We want to get back to that defensive sequence. We didn't have time to show it to you, but it is worth it in just a moment.
Bulls doing a nice job right now, spreading out the floor to try to create some driving possibilities, but Chauncey a little bit too quick with that three-point attempt.
And a near steal by Cedric Smith, and here's that defensive pressure last possession.
Just listen closely, you'll hear sneakers squeaking, and look at green shirts pursuing each pass. And if they get beat up to dribble, help out along the baseline, the challenger shooter.
That doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, but great hustle there, and a nice job by our crew to pick that up. Bargain now with 7 minutes to go. South Florida still with a 9-point cushion. Wardle left alone. Off the mark. A rare miss from him, and he pops Shadrick Jenkins right in the smoosh.
The smoosh? What is the smoosh?
That would be the nose, face area, mouth, something. And with that three-point attempt, Marquette has now tried 23 of them tonight, the most this season.
Bulls in the bonus on that next one. Shadrick, once again, that power point pursuing defensive rebounds. He can stick his nose in there, or in that case, the smoosh in there, and drew the foul. Bulls in the bonus on the next possession.
Very close to backcourt there. B.B. Walden with a nice move, lay it in and draw the foul.
B.B. with quickness. I like what I'm seeing from B.B. this game. When he catches the ball in the paint, he's able to quickly move. Watch him right now. He gets it. He pivots off his left foot. Boom, steps right through. Right to the rim. Bargain. Levette too slow to be able to counter that move. Nice job of interior passing.
You take a look at what B.B. Walden has done twice this season, and take a look at that bottom asterisk.
Back-to-back double-doubles. He's got a chance to get quite a few more before this season is over. BB's got a nice feel.
And keep in mind, that was the entire team only had 4 double-doubles last season. BB's got 2 himself, and we've got a jump ball there. And on the alternate possession, South Florida will get a new rule in college basketball this year. If it's a held ball, the defense gets it, but that time there was no possession.
Correct. But that's a great job of Raheem getting an extra possession of a missed free throw. Terrific job.
You talk about the play inside. South Florida killing Marquette 40. You take a look at both coaches as they talk with their teams coming down the home stretch. And South Florida has controlled this second half, and they have been very calm about going about it, and they're going to have to remain calm to finish this game off. It's been impressive so far, but still time for Marquette, especially with that three-point shooting, to get back in.
You don't want to give up open threes. You want to challenge every guy that's going to be on the perimeter, and you also want to double down anytime Levette gets the ball. At the offensive end, the key is sharp cuts, crisp passes and sharp cuts. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bulls right now inbound the ball, work it around, and look for a backdoor cut.
You look at the field goal percentage. That should have been 12 of 19. A steal by Marquette and a foul on USF on the inbounds play. 12 of 19 are the Bulls in the second half, 63%. And just as we talked about not putting them on the foul line, Marquette will go to the line with John Cliff having stolen the ball and drawn the foul.
When you're overplayed, you have to back cut. Shadrick was overplayed, didn't do a good enough job shaking free to receive the ball. Got to be aggressive, take your man away from the action, draw the overplay, and hard cut in the opposite direction.
Cliff got them both.
That's a killer. You've got possession of the ball, and 5 seconds later, the other team makes 2.
And a foul in the backcourt on David Diggs, the freshman, over the top of Chauncey Asbury.
This could be a free throw shooting contest these last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Mike Dean, he's no dummy. He's looked at those stat sheets. He knows who can and can't make free throws, judging from the first 4 games of the year for South Florida. Chauncey has struggled, but history tells us he's a pretty good free throw shooter down the stretch.
Bulls have shot only 58% as a team coming into this game tonight. That one is good, though, for the sophomore at Deerfield Beach. And you take a look at Mike Dean, the Marquette head coach, pacing the sidelines. Arthur Reeves back in for Raheem Brown. That's for defensive purposes. And what a night for Asbury, who has really come on the last 3 games for South Florida, but only 1 out of 2 from the stripe there. Marquette still in this one, only a 9-point game.
Now, Chauncey's only got 1 double-figure scoring night this season, but he's got 2 games with 9, so he's been pretty close to what he was like last year, making close to double figures when he's a starter.
And another three-pointer for Marquette. And they almost stole the inbounds pass, and that's what I mean about this lead being tenuous, as another made three by John Cliff.
3-pointers versus 1 out of 2 free throws. Those numbers work if you're trying to make a comeback.
A quick 5-1 run, and there's a foul in the backcourt on Cliff. On Shadrack Jenkins, and free throw shooting will be critical.
Shadrack comes in the game, struggling from the free throw line also. Only making 56% when this game started. Making free throws down the stretch. When you play in a competitive conference, you're going to have a lot of games that are going to come down to the last 3 or 4 minutes, and free throws will decide them.
Jenkins 4 of 4 on the night, making 5 of 5.
That percentage is going up right now.
That's 15 for him. B.B. Walden leads South Florida with 17. Chauncey Asbury at this juncture with 15 also. 1 out of 2 again. The lead is 7. Keep an eye on number 22 at the bottom of the screen. There's another three by Cliff, and that's a bad shot.